Anderson, 97.1 The Ticket. If you go to our Facebook page, the station's Facebook page, 97.1 The Ticket's Facebook page, we are streaming live right now. We do this every once in a while, so you can watch the show as it happens. All right, I got a question for you. Would you rather do Cooter Factor or Big Blue Donut? What?
That's a loaded question.
Cooter Factor or Big Blue Donut?
Contrary to popular belief, I'd rather talk Cooter Factor than the Big Blue Donut.
Okay.
What do you got?
The Cooter Factor is whether or not Jim Bob Cooter, as the offensive coordinator, makes that much of a difference for the Lions this coming season. I think that it is, and we'll get to Big Blue Donut coming up, but
that's the best of both worlds then.
Is the Cooter Factor legit or a myth? By that, does he really make that much of a difference? We went back and ran some numbers on the Cooter Factor a year ago and how much the Cooter Factor really impacted the Detroit Lions. Last year, with Joe Lombardi as offensive coordinator, they had the most turnovers per game. After Cooter was put in charge, they had the least turnovers per game in the NFL. We went from 32nd to 1st. Pre-Cooter, 19.9 points per game. Post-Cooter, 24.3 points per game. However, pre-Cooter, the average defense that they went against was a top 10 defense. Post-Cooter, the average defense they went against was 15.4 in the league. So you can take this for what it's worth. I think what Jim Bob Cooter proved, that he was a better offensive coordinator than Joe Lombardi, I don't think he's really going to make that much of a difference. The tangible evidence lies in the turnovers, and turnovers are huge. I mean, the point is to win games, and you win the turnover battle. That dramatically increases your chances of winning the game. So I'll give him that. I just don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. I think a lot of what we saw was a product of who they played.
Well, the product of who they played was only 7 yards more per game than the first half of the season, as far as the defense is concerned. Mm-hmm. The defenses that they played in the second half of the season allowed 7 more yards per game than those in the first half of the season. So I actually think he does make a difference, and quite a bit of a difference. And when you factor in, which is a large factor, the turnover factor, when he took over, they took care of the football. And yeah, that's when you take care of the football, you're going to win games more, by and large. So why not think that that's going to be part of what happens this upcoming season? I think he could make a big difference. I don't know if this team's a playoff team. I'm reserving that, but I buy into the Cooter factor. I think more Cooter, the better.
Okay, so Cooter legit. I think Cooter's a myth.
Cooter is too legit to quit.
Well,
how do you not love Cooter? Are you saying you don't love Cooter?
I'm saying,
at this point?
I am saying that I like Cooter.
All right.
But look,
fair enough.
The earlier you call your shot regarding Cooter, the better. And you're calling it early. I am more reluctant to do so.
Fair enough.
Now, Big Blue Donut.
Yes, the Big Blue Donut. Let's talk about the Big Blue Donut.
Ford Field will have a new concession item for fans' enjoyment. It is the 4-pound Big Blue Donut. You excited about the Big Blue Donut?
Well, Doug, 64 ounces of donut. Got 64 ounces worth of donut. 4 pounds of it.
Yep.
And it's a donut that has an apple filling in the middle of it, and then it's topped with a blue icing of some kind, blue frosting.
It's, by the way, you can search it via the hashtag Big Blue Donut.
It's not something I'm going to order because the games that I go as a member of the media. And, of course, the game has to have my full undivided attention. How dare I
you think you'd
jeopardize
be
that by go with the Big Blue Donut? But would I like to try it? Sure, I'd like to try it, but I wouldn't. Can you imagine sitting down, one sitting, throwing down 4 pounds worth of donut? I mean, I know you got to want a donut, but that's a little ridiculous.
It's a giant donut, and it costs $15 for one donut, and it has a blue frosting with what appears to be white and silver sprinkles.
All right,
to match the uniforms.
now I have a real serious question about that.
About the Big Blue Donut?
Yes.
Okay.
Does this mean that for the donut race, the Dashing Donut is going to change to be the Big Blue Donut? Because if that's the case, that's a game changer in itself.
I think it
I think he has to change up.
Because there's a sponsor for that race. Isn't it Tim Hortons Presents?
No, I believe it's Dunkin' Donuts when you get there.
Sorry to Dunkin'.
Dashing Donut, cup of coffee, Biggie Bagel, yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll stick with their personal products rather than go with Big Blue Donut, unless Dunkin's making Big Blue Donut. People are going to try Big Blue Donut, but I don't know, the oversized, like when you see the massive pretzel, that's more than you really want.
Right, but you split it.
Yes, and you would split Big Blue Donut.
You'd have to. You'd go into a sugar coma.
No, somebody's going to solo the Big Blue Donut.
I know you're looking at me. It ain't going to be this guy.
No, I wasn't implying it would be you.
The pretzel I might give a run for. But
Fithian would be my guess from guys at the station.
Yeah, I can see Dennis doing that.
Yeah. Do you have any interest, Kang, in the Big Blue Donut?
Not really.
No?
Nope. Not for me, man. Not for me.
What about Fithian? Do you think Fithian would put down the Big Blue Donut?
We will find that in his desk at some point this season.
There'd be Big Blue Donut
remnants of the Big Blue Donut?
Like 1 pound crumbs or something like that.
248-539-9797. Guys, I can't tell you if Cooter is legit until after they play their first 4 regular season games. They need to come out of those first 4 games 3-1 for me to say Cooter is legit. That's from Adam. From Joe, the Cooter effect is real. The Lions will be top 10 in offense in 2016. Stafford will win his first playoff game. Wow. Another one here to the Karsch and Anderson inbox. This one from Jeff in South Lyon. The Lions will have a top 20 offense. Woo! Cooter is real. I'll plant my flag on the Lions now. Finish behind Green Bay and make the wild card. The O-line will get it together, and they will have a top 10 offense. That's from Chris. From Mike at work. Doug, the Cooter factor is real. It will help that the Lions will have a top 10 rush offense. Mark my word, flag planted, Lions win the division. To have a top 10 rush offense, I'm pretty sure they last year were a top 32 rush offense. By that, I mean they were dead last in the league in rushing offense. Were they not?
Last year, they were, in fact, last in the league. Yep. Yes. They averaged 83 yards a game.
They averaged 3.8 yards a carry, which wasn't the worst in the league, but their 83 yards per game was the worst in the league.
If they could get into the 110 yards per game range, which is, you think about it, that's an awful lot more than what they did.
That's top half of the league.
That's 27 more yards than they had. 110 would put them, at 14. But it doesn't seem that unreasonable. It's 110 yards.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like an enormous amount.
You got to be committed, and you have to be able to do it. Now, it was one preseason game, but I did like watching Taylor Decker run block.
I didn't watch Decker every snap, okay? But I watched the offensive line more plays than I didn't. I thought the tackle play was pretty good. On plays I watched. Yeah, I think that's trending in the right direction.
When the pressure came, the pressure seemed to come on Stafford through the middle and based on blitzes and guys not totally confident whom they should block.
Scott let us know that the morning show asked listeners to name the Big Blue Donut, and his personal favorite was Same Old Donut.
Same Old Donut is good.
248-539-9797. Open lines. Karsch and Anderson, 97.1 to take.